I thought you were going to go into it with
I wasn't. I didn't want to threaten the timing. I was going to let you hit the whole thing. Yeah.
We're back.
We are.
It's another episode of Stuck in a Corner. Today is
Stuck in the Corner with You.
May 1st, year of our Lord, 2021. You know what I really upset about last week?
What?
I didn't do the next week. It's gonna be May joke.
Shit, you're right. I thought about it last night too, but by the time I realized what that May was coming up, it was already like midnight.
I didn't make the "it's gonna be May" joke once this year, and I kind of am upset about myself.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. You're only human. You can't remember everything.
I am supposed to be infallible. I am a god.
No, that's my joke. You can't take that from me. What's wrong with you?
I mean, you've taken some of my jokes before.
Yeah, that's true. And I gave Anthony the title of God. He's God too now. Actually.
Yeah, so like it would really suck if like God was real, right? And again, I
not
to offend anybody who is religious or anything. Like I am spiritual myself, but like let's say that Christian God is real, and like that is, and the thou shalt not take false idols before me is something that will actually get you sent to hell. And the reason that we go to hell, God is like, yeah, you said you were God once. So.
What kind of jod is that jealous?
The one that starts their name, so the one that pronounces GIFs as GIFs.
Wait, no, you have it wrong.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. The one that pronounces GIFs as GIFs.
Because we all know it's GIF. The person who invented the graphic interface format is wrong. It is GIF because it's not pronounced graphics.
Yeah, I mean, I read a post. It was like me and my 2-year-old got in an argument today over why dragon doesn't start with a J.
And now I'm sitting here saying dragon and wondering why it doesn't sound any different. But you can say dragon, but that's not how we say it.
Right, we say it with the J sound.
Dragon, because we're dragging the sound. Phonetics are weird. I think it has something to do with the way the D syllable primes your mouth, and then following it with the R, like deer. You go from an E to an R.
I guess so. I can understand that.
But like
gerbil.
Since we speed it up, we skip the E part of the D, so we just go straight into the R. So we start with dragon. And it also doesn't help that our teeth are touching. I found this out by talking to my friend from Sweden, Rose, and we discovered that they don't touch their teeth when they make T, S's, or J sounds, because Sweden doesn't do that. They'll, at least for S's and T's, they will a little bit, but like J's come out as yuz, because that's how they pronounce.
Because they don't touch their teeth together when they're making that sound. So
then when, I can't remember what word it was that this came up in, because it was like years ago, but something like truck might come across as like thruck or zruck or something like that.
And that's actually really interesting to think about too, because whenever you think about people who can speak a second language fluently, it's not only the ability to know the words
and form the associations.
It's also making certain motions with your mouth, like
that are technically foreign to the way you have been speaking your whole life.
Right, because you can say Germanic languages versus Latin languages
versus Nordic versus anything, like, let alone that slice of the world, right? You look to the east or to the west at either indigenous cultures and it gets even weirder.
Right.
The phonetic list of sounds for Mandarin is insane. And they are all not just consonant vowel combinations, but they also have tonal inflections that change the way you interpret each character.
Yeah.
So "z" is different than "z" is different than "z."
I feel like if your first language was something like Mandarin, I feel like it's a lot easier for you to learn a second language. Because of how much context that you have to take in and like absorb. Like, because like think about it, we have 26 letters. Yeah, that's all we had to learn.
And the only thing that really differs from word to word is the inflection that we deliver, but it's not for character.
We don't even use umlauts half the time, man. Like,
we will just skip that shit.
Like we just
double the letter.
Two O's.
Two O's now. What, you want to make an oo? Well, just put two oos. Like put two O.
Why not use a U?
Come on, idiot.
Why is there a U in color? Take it out.
I don't give a shit about that. Color? No one's saying that.
Well, speaking of the way that British people spell the word color, we actually have, for our first segment today, we're going to be playing a band from UK. And I've been seeing a ton of like Facebook ads for this band ever since we started playing it.
Their marketing department is on point.
Their marketing department knows who we are, I guess, because they've been like, it's all over Stuck in a Corner stuff. Like,
or the algae rhythm.
Right. I guess they heard us say their names once. And
fuck you, Google.
Yeah. So Mason Hill, we're actually going to be featuring, we're doing things a little bit different today for as well as,
I see
as far as the songs go today. I'm kind of doing where we're going to feature each band as we go, kind of highlight these bands because they have so much good music out, and we never really get an opportunity to show like the range that these musicians can have.
Yeah.
Especially with bands like Royal Horses and Sharone, like they are a wide spectrum.
They like to play the genre spectrum a lot. I was going to say, I was working on the website that we are still is under construction. Update on that, we had to move to a different host to make some things work with the audio stream, but the 24-hour radio is still coming, should be up in the next week. You'll hear more about that later.
Yeah, if you saw the post that was on any of our social media for 3 minutes on Wednesday, ignore that.
That website doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't exist. In fact, I think if I go to stuckinacorner.com, it should pull up nothing or a GoDaddy warning message. But it seems like we're going to be playing about 3 to 3 songs from each artist for each segment. I like that a lot.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce the first section?
So we got Mason Hill. First song we're going to be playing by them is DNA. After that, we're going to be playing We Pray, which I don't. And then after that, we're going to be playing Broken Sun.
Oh, man, that was a really good joke.
Thank you.
I enjoyed that. Well, I guess with that, what I can do is just go ahead and do a little mute.
today. I'll miss you. Will you think about me now? 'Cause I'm all on my own. I'll find my way back home. I feel it, I dream it, can't walk away from it. This drug is just a part of my DNA, and it's killing me for my destiny. What could go wrong for me? It's always bringing me down, 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 and I just wanna run and hide, but it's a part of my DNA, my DNA. I need a medicine, help me take the pain away, 'cause I know this time I messed up, threw it all away. Now I'm all on my own, I'll find my way back home. I feel it, I dream it, can't walk away from it. This drug is just a part of my DNA, and it's killing me for my destiny. What could go wrong for me? It's always bringing me down, 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 and I just wanna run and hide, but it's a part of my DNA, my DNA. This may be hard to say, but it's the price you pay for being difficult. What really can I say? Now that it's said and done, I'll be the enemy. Can't you admit you were wrong? It's just a part of my DNA, and it's killing me for my destiny. What could go wrong for me? It's always bringing me down, 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 and I just wanna run and hide, but it's a part of my DNA, my DNA. There's nothing wrong with me, I just cannot see the way you used to be. And now this scene in my head is better off dead, with all my memories, so I'll say, this time I'm fixing what I've done. They say it's always my own fault. That's all
back.
If
that was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
If you like that music that you heard, make sure you check out the description in the re-uploads of our
episodes on SoundCloud and YouTube.
That way, you can go and check out these guys' music, check out their Facebook pages, give them some appreciation, all that good stuff.
Stream them on Spotify, buy their music on Bandcamp if that happens to be where they're selling it. Yeah. Bandcamp is really one of the most important places you can support artists these days. Musicians don't get anything from Spotify or Apple streams. They're only giving people like 0.005 cents per stream. It's not worthwhile. What's the word I'm looking for? Profit. I don't know, mode of profit.
Wasn't there a band that had uploaded just nothing but
Sleepify.
silence?
That is Wolfpack, my favorite funk band. They did a full 8-hour album that was just silent tracks that they encouraged their fans to stream on Spotify as long as possible, as long as they could, so that they could crowdfund their first tour. And it worked. And Spotify was upset with them, and they couldn't sue them because there was nothing in the TOS that said they weren't allowed to, but there is now.
Yeah, right. It's like, you can't just do that. You know what? You fool me once.
Yeah, shame on me. Shame on you.
Fool me twice, shame on me. That's what it is. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Is it?
Because it's...
I thought it was the other way around.
No, because you're supposed to learn from your mistake.
I see.
The first time it's your fault. The second time it's obviously my fault because I didn't learn from my mistake.
I see. I had this cool little factoid that I wanted to mention in between the music segment, but I figured it'd be cool to read on air. It was something that caught me off guard that I was reading on Facebook today. Mm-hmm. Jack Black's mother was Judith Love Cohen, a NASA engineer who helped create the abort guidance system that rescued the Apollo 13 astronauts.
Yeah, dude.
She delivered the solution to an issue she was solving the day she went into labor. And then she gave birth to Jack Black. She called her boss and said she finished the problem and gave birth to Jack Black, which is fucking insane.
Dude, so, I read that. I hadn't seen that same thing.
Post. Yeah.
A couple of days ago.
I had to double check. Snopes says it's true.
And I was honestly quite blown away. And it kind of makes sense, right? Somebody who is as successful as that person is.
Judith or
Judith,
Jack?
Judith. Yeah. So somebody who is as successful in their field, in that particular kind of field, has to be very ambitious and has to love what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And I feel like someone who can get to that kind of level and still be that badass is probably going to encourage their children to do what they love to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jack Black had to have come from
someone like that in order to be the way he is,
because he is just so pure and nice and so talented. Like, oh my God. Like, people like laugh whenever you say Jack Black's an amazing musician.
No, he's good. He writes good music, even if it is funny sometimes.
90% of the time.
Yeah, it's still good.
It's compositionally great. The dude can shred a guitar.
Yes.
And he's an amazing drummer too.
His vocals are amazing, in my opinion. I love the way he sings.
He retired from acting.
Yes. And because he got the award, the big award that everyone wants, and he was like, fuck it, I'm done. This is all I wanted. Bye.
Right?
All I wanted was the Emmy or whatever it was that he ended up with, and that's all I needed. Now I'm done with acting. I can go have fun with my kids and live a normal life. Please leave me alone.
Right? And he's always going to make money off of that stuff.
Oh yeah. And he's got this huge successful YouTube channel, and he's given his son a huge resume in the process because his kid is the editor for all of his YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, it's hysterical. His son is an amazing editor. It's incredible what he does. He's only probably 16 now. Mm-hmm. He was 14 when I first found out about it. He's crazy.
Well, again, that's somebody like Jack Black is going to be super encouraging. Like, if you're interested in this thing, let me funnel all of that I can.
All of the resources I have into enabling your interest. Let's see. As described by her son, University of Southern California engineering professor Neil Siegel, Jack Black's half-brother, in a 2016 obituary he penned, Cohen's first passions were dancing and engineering, and by age 19, she was a dancer in the Corps de Ballet of the New York Metropolitan Opera Ballet Company. Ballet. and a student in engineering school of Brooklyn. So by 19, she was working or dancing at the Metropolitan Opera and studying engineering in Brooklyn.
Well, and you have to think about dancing is a very
physically
demanding
exhausting
sport.
Yes,
like it is a sport, especially
just
ballet.
as band and fucking cheer and as much as every other actual quote unquote sport out there, right?
Yeah. Like and dude, dancers are ripped. Like,
if I had the, Brie did dancing for a while, for
Really?
a long time, yeah, as well as cheer.
it makes sense because she's small.
Yeah.
And if you're a small person, you can be thrown around.
Fuck,
easily.
she's strong too.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like that stuff doesn't go away either. Like, yeah, if you're not constantly working on your body, you'll lose a lot of the definition, and you might like lower your weight limit quite a bit. But you don't ever like lose the dexterity until you get old. I don't think, at least. I could definitely, like, I can still play the drums the way I played the drums in high school. I can still play the guitar the way I played the guitar in high school and stuff like that.
Right, it's kind of weird. Like sometimes I'll pick up the guitar and I'll think as like, okay, what's something that I haven't played since I was like a child?
And then you just dredge up this ancient memory, right? And your body starts moving, and it's like, I didn't know I could still play this, but I'm glad that I can, because if I forgot it, I would feel like less of a musician somehow, because this is one of the first things I learned or wrote or whatever.
Right. So, and I'm plagued with all of these things that I learned whenever I was a fledgling guitarist, like the opening riff to Crazy Train and the opening riff to Sweet Home Alabama and the opening riff to like thousands of songs and nothing else. And it's like
that video by what's his name on YouTube that was like, can you play a song? Can you play a song? You bought this $5,000 keyboard, but can you play the song? Can you play any song? Just finish a song, damn it.
Just one song.
I just want to hear you play one song.
And like, it's funny, like the only songs that like get played through like all the way through are songs, like at least on my guitars or whatever. Like,
right.
The only instruments that we play all the way through are songs we wrote.
I hardly ever play music unless I'm playing music that I've written now.
Everything else is just like meme. Like,
We'll Smoke on the Water.
Yeah. Crazy Train. That one time we accidentally wrote Sweet Child of Mine.
I don't recall.
I mean, I was trying to write a part for one of the songs in Cosmetic Damage. I think,
and it just came out.
It came out, and I was like, I can't write that. That's Sweet Child of Mine.
I can't include that.
That's Sweet Child of Mine.
Oh, man. I was going to say something about playing music, and now I can't remember. About remembering a track. The first song I ever learned on the guitar was Handlebars by Flowbots. So that...
The first song you learned on guitar was Flowbots Handlebars.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which was really good because it teaches you a lot of chord shapes right away, without like forcing you to learn them as chords, because the whole thing is note by note. And so it wants you to like, eventually you want to shape your hand into the shape of a chord and then just shift it around and pluck each note individually. But when I started out, I was fretting, like fret, pluck over and over again. And it's just funny because my sister wanted me to play it for our mutual friend. She was in high school at the time. I was in middle school. Our mutual friend that we knew through band, his name was Dylan or something like that. And he was a guitarist. He was a guitarist for the jazz band. I was the bassist for the jazz band. And she wanted me to play for him Flowbots, or Handlebars by Flowbots. And I started to play it, and he was like, that sounds wrong. And I was like, I know, it sounds wrong. I think it's because I'm playing it on an electric and not an acoustic.
He's like, no, you're playing the wrong notes.
He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything after that. The conversation ended. I left the room, and it wasn't until way later that I was like, oh, you know what? Electric and acoustic don't sound any different. It depends on where you play it. I was definitely just playing it wrong. What do you got here?
I'm trying to... Take Me With You by Secondhand Serenade is the first song I learned how to play completely. And the reason that I learned how to play that song completely is because this girl was like, it's my favorite song. Can you learn how to play it for me? And I'm like,
yeah. Of course I can.
Oh, man. So another kind of theme that I went with on today's music is I wanted to go no music from Texas.
I noticed. I wanted to make a mention of that, but then I forgot what I was going to say, so I just reiterated the thing you said about it being 3 songs from each artist as we go through it. Yeah. That is what I wanted to say earlier, was that we normally feature a lot of artists from Denton and from Texas, so today we're branching out. We're trying to get outside of the state. Yeah, I like that a lot.
We started outside of the country. Now we're going to reel it back in, and we're going to go to the east side of the United States with some royal horses out of Mississippi.
I can never remember which is Mississippi and which is Missouri.
Well, MS is Mississippi.
Okay, it's also multiple. Okay. Anyway, the songs we're going to be playing by Royal Horses tonight is going to be A Modern Man's Way to Improve. After that, we're going to be playing Ruby Doo, What She Wanna Do. And then we're going to be playing Leave a Light. It's going to be A Modern Man's Way to Improve, Ruby Doo, and Leave a Light.
Why you got to repeat yourself? Why don't you just...
to make us who we are. And sometimes impressions just get in the way of your heart. You're shouting yours out and your voice is just hurting my head. Oh, wouldn't you people all rather be home in your beds? And there's no excuse not to recognize it. There's a video coming in quick. Your years behind, I fear. We got all the losers here. Well, hey, who are you here taking up the space in my mind? 'Cause I'm hurting for room and each day it gets harder to find. But I'm moving the old things around, making room for the new. All the articles say it's the modern man's way to improve. And there's no excuse not to recognize it. It's a video coming in quick. With your years behind, I fear. We got all the losers here. I said, hey, hey, it's a video coming in quick. Your years behind, I fear. We got all the losers. On the moon. We were there when you were happy, child. We seen you when you were sitting sad. And we come back with a remedy, but you're gonna have to stand by for just one more year. Yeah, there's no excuse not to recognize it. It's a video coming in quick. Your years behind, I fear. We got all the losers here. Coming in quick, your years behind, I fear. We got all the losers here. We got all the losers here. What you wanna do, and I don't know why. I had to learn the hard way. I don't know why I didn't move along. Don't know why I keep letting her break my heart. Well, I don't wanna be no catfish. I want to be the river. I don't wanna take no love from you. I want to be the giver. And I don't want you casting out your net with dinner on your mind. Said I just come to see you drop that dead Lord and leave it on the bank behind. Because Ruby-Doo, yes, Ruby-Doo, Ruby-Doo, what you wanna do, and I don't know why I had to learn the hard way. I don't know why I didn't move along. Don't know why I keep letting her break my heart. There's a restless soul who's hitched a ride on an early morning train. And it never really mattered, Lord, if the train arrived on time. The only reason a man got up, got on the line was just to ease that burden line. Go through, yeah, do what you wanna do, and I don't know why. I had to learn the hard way, I don't know why. They move along, don't know why. Keep letting them break my heart. Bless your soul. You don't hold back from the things that you know. I can feel it. I feel it too. Count the rain as it falls. You can admit that you might just have it wrong, but I can see it. I think you see it too. You don't have to ask me how I feel, and you don't have to wonder if it's real. You don't have to ask me if I'm mine anymore. Red wine comes, where it goes. My friend, she yawns 'cause she's sleepy and I'm stoned and I can feel it. I'd say she's feeling
We're back.
Oh, I was hoping you would
harmonize with you.
Yeah, thank you.
No, you're good. I was gonna kind of let Bugs Bunny you there for a minute. You know, like.
What's up, dog?
Oh man, I really love Royal Horses. They're a good find. I appreciate Tag publicity for
big shout out Tag
getting in contact with them, as well as a ton of other musicians. Well, and you know, if you make music and you want to have your music on our show, you should send it to us at stuckinacornerwithfox7s@gmail.com. It's a long name, but you'll remember it because it's the name of the show. Oh wait, I was trying to boo. Yeah, there it is.
We love you, Sam's remote.
Yeah, so I really can't wait till I actually know how to use this little thing in front of me properly, like, you know, where it's fluid and comfortable, and like I know the proper times to use the buttons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like eventually it will.
That didn't make a whole lot of sense from me personally. I just pressed that button. It didn't. Yeah, it's right. I meant to say laughing, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's difficult to remember what each of the keys is.
Right, and I erased all the stuff off of it because I was taking a picture the other day.
And you wanted it to look professional.
I was like,
and you couldn't even see the keys after the fact.
You couldn't. I felt like an idiot. Oh man. So we got our green screen in today.
Oh yeah, man, I'm nervous about that.
Yeah,
a little bit. Just like we've only been on camera on this show once before. And you know, we just haven't experimented with it at all. We haven't decided what we're gonna do with it yet. But I am excited to put bullshit backgrounds and stuff behind us and memes. We could put Chrome behind us. We could put everything behind us. It'll be great.
One of my favorite ideas so far is I want to do the thing kind of like they do in what's that show? Whose Line Is It Anyway? Where they put Colin in front of a green screen and he has to guess what he's
that is really good.
And I actually did some research on it, and those improv games, you're allowed to do those improv games. It's fine. They're not like copyrighted or anything.
Yes,
they are just improv games.
Yes, okay.
So like we can. That's kind of the
stuck in a line with it anyway.
That's kind of where I want to go with the show. I'm just ignoring that.
Oh, come on, that was good.
Wait, where's that? Haha, I knew it.
So you can't overpower me.
It's kind of like where I want to go with the show a little bit. You know, I want to start incorporating some more video aspects, start having some commercials, having like just funny goofs and skits and stuff.
Because you know how when you're listening to a podcast or a show and you want them to do ads at you?
I mean... You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Right. And you can trust us to do something interesting. Like if you've watched Internet Comment Etiquette, that's what I've been watching for the past like month, and I've been showing you those videos. Every time he has a sponsor, he does a skit for it. He doesn't just like read an ad copy or something like that. And that's the direction I feel that we were trying to take it, right? Mm-hmm. And same thing with like Mabim Bam or whatever, my brother and me from the McElroy Brothers. They do the same thing where they'll read an ad copy. They're a little more cut and clean about it, but they're making jokes the entire time. And one time even Griffin was making a joke about why they called him Porky Pig in high school, but they were also talking about Babbel. So Travis was like, well, Babbel offers you the opportunity to learn languages, so use our offer code babbel.com/brother for 10% off. And then Griffin goes, so you're probably thinking they called me Porky Pig because of my because I was porking so much, right? But no, they called it, they said because of my technique, because I would just get down there and go deep, and just that's the kind of thing that I want to go for. Really, and also, sorry Griffin, form. I didn't mean to just fucking bite your joke, but like
you're not biting his joke if you give him credit for it and explain what happened. Mabim Bam, I just recently started watching their stuff.
Yes,
it's funny. It's funny.
I think. Are you talking about the outtakes video that I had going on?
Well, I mean, not just that. Like, I mean, I've watched some. I've watched a couple of their things off like on my own, and I don't know. I don't know why I don't really like them as people. Like, I don't know. I'm not like I'm not a big fan of it so far. You haven't won me over yet, but I mean, I'm sure you're so popular. Like, they are so popular.
There's got to be a reason.
There's got to be a reason. I maybe have just not watched like the right videos yet, and like I have seen stuff of theirs that I've like that's fucking hilarious. So like I don't know. I'm not sold yet.
Yeah, and I mean like improv comedy, and they can't all be winners, right? Like surely we've had episodes that aren't as funny as the others.
Oh, right? Absolutely. We've had episodes that weren't as good. We have episodes that just didn't air. We have an episode that was one of the best episodes of Stuck in a Corner ever, and it's
lost to
missing. If you can find episode 12 of Stuck in a Corner, I will reward you with money.
I don't know how they'll do that though.
I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there.
That's a bold claim.
I mean, I didn't say how much.
Yeah,
money,
there's no reward amount. You just will be rewarded.
Yeah, exactly. But I would appreciate it. I don't know how they could do it. So what had happened is when the stream ended, I guess. Instead of hitting save, I guess I hit delete. I don't know. I just...
This was back when we were still using butt, right? And listening to my radio. I can't remember the exact procedure, right? Because it should have saved automatically, but I think something got fucked up in the encoding or something like that. Or it could have been that it forgot to record at all.
Maybe.
And so it was never put to tape to begin with, and it was just streamed into the air, into the ether, into the invisible imagosphere. This just in related news, completely related and on topic, Medina Spirit comes first and the Kentucky Derby. Yeah, I don't care either.
Oh, and the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah.
So there was this ad on my Facebook, and it was this dude. He was like, if you buy a mattress with us and your pick for the Kentucky Derby wins, we'll refund you the money for your mattress.
So if you get rich, you'll get richer.
I guess. I mean,
I guess you don't necessarily have to bet on the horse.
No, so you buy a mattress.
You tell them what,
and then you tell them which horse you want to win. And then if your horse won,
so
they were going to refund you the money for your mattress.
A different version of gambling, then.
Right?
Yeah,
you're just gambling with the mattress.
Yeah, instead of anything. That's funny because either you lose and then you're out the normal $800 for a mattress, or you win. And you've got a free mattress.
But so think about this, and it wasn't limited to a number of people. It was anybody who came in and bought a mattress.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Statistically, if there were 10 horses, there's only 10% of people that you have to give money back to. So you're raking in 90%.
Unless you're getting people who actually know something about the Kentucky Derby, and they're you know what?
This is not accounting
I'm going to get a free mattress.
I know who's going to win, but also I rig the race every year, actually. So I know who's going to win ahead of time.
I mean, I know too, because I'm sorry, second time I've made your joke today.
Damn. I saw you. No, yeah. You're good. You stuck the landing at the very least.
Because, well,
I'm God. What do you expect from me? Of course I know the answer.
You know what one of my favorite movies ever is?
Bruce Almighty?
No.
Evan Almighty? Good. Right, yeah, topical.
Good guess. No, Road to El Dorado.
Oh, yes. We've reviewed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was a good one. I think I even talked about this last episode.
Pretty recently. We were talking about the change from resolutions, right? Because we were talking about how you can't really see the difference between 1080p and 4K anymore. Yeah. Or 30 or 60 FPS and anything higher. It's what's the point?
Right. The trail we blaze. The song from that is,
what scene is that again?
It's whenever they wash up on shore and they find the map and then they follow the map.
Miguel is convincing Tulio to or do I have that backwards? No, I have that right. Yeah. Miguel is the blonde one. Yeah. Convincing them to venture onward instead of trying to row back, which also, what did he fucking expect was him, the horse, and Miguel were going to boat back to Spain
without even trying to gather any supplies.
Yeah, no food, no anything. You only have this shitty dinghy, literally a dinghy.
You're on land, figure out where you're at, and get resources, then try to get back home.
If that's really what you want to do. Yeah. Dude was about to just start swimming. I've heard of people swimming the English Channel, but I feel like the Atlantic Ocean is a bit larger.
It is a bit larger, at least by a mile.
How big is the English Channel?
All right, one second.
People have swam that, and I got to understand how long it takes to swim. Also, have you seen Gattaca?
No.
Oh, Ethan Hawke and I can't remember who else is in that movie, but it's someone big. I've got Google in front of me too.
Well, I mean, I can just I'm pulling it up on the stream. That's why.
Well, yeah, but I want to know what the people in Gattaca were. I don't give a shit.
The English Channel is 21 miles. Yeah, the Atlantic Ocean is at least 1 mile larger than 21 miles.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I would hazard a guess at say at least 100 times that size. Yeah, how big is the Atlantic?
How long is the Atlantic Ocean?
Yeah, specifically. Or maybe the better... I wish I knew what points it was measuring. I think it's
measuring shore length right now.
Oh, okay, the length of the shore. Yeah, from New York to England. What's the distance from the New York coast to England coast? Coast to England coast. Yeah. Because I just want to know how far is it? Yeah. How far is it between New York, USA, and London, UK? I know that it'll try to center them, but at least we'd have something. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. US coast to UK coast.
Is it Europe?
I mean, Europe is the continent, right? That's attached to the rest
North
of Asia
America.
And stuff like
I'm sorry, I know.
North.
God dang it, I cannot spell.
No, you're fine. I mean, you're looking up at the screen.
North
I have
America
issues
coast
typing without looking.
to Europe.
Coast length.
Distance.
Oh, yeah, distance. That works. Europe.
4,180 miles.
So way
miles.
over 100 times 21, I believe.
Yeah,
because that would have only
well.
been 2,100 miles.
I
So
guess.
yeah, that's 200 times at the very least. It was 20. So that divided by 21.
Yes, 21.
21.
Oh. Divided by 21.
You're stupid. No,
I am
I'm not. What's 9?
100. Oh, wow. Almost
wow.
exactly 200.
Ooh,
Where's
I'm
the
so good. Nope.
Oh,
How
Not
dare
that
you?
one.
You don't know what you're talking about.
no. Not that one either. Okay. I was trying to get you applause,
I
but
see,
you know,
I see.
and just it is
I
what it
pressed
is.
the button.
There it is. There's the
Yeah.
applause. Yeah. Good job, Dave. You know your math. Well, you want to get on to the next?
No, I want to talk about Gattaca.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I forgot that you had brought up another topic.
Gattaca was a movie featuring Ethan Hawke, Jude Law. Danny DeVito was one of the producers, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Who is Jude Law?
I believe it is
I'm
the
looking him up right
woman
now.
of the female lead of the movie.
No,
no,
you
it's
are
the brother.
incorrect.
It's the brother. I don't know who the.
You can continue. What were we
I'm
talking about Gattaca?
So there's a scene. The whole movie is a discussion about eugenics, right? They live in the future where you can genetically modify your children so that you can decide their outcome. You know, get rid of any deformities, quote unquote, for lack of a better word. But so this family, it follows this family where Jude Law was born first. His character was named Adam, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yes, Adam. And he was born... Oh no, he was born second. Ethan Hawke's character Vincent is older. He was born naturally. Vincent was Ethan Hawke. He didn't.
This is the one where they're going out into outer space,
yes,
right?
Yes, and the whole time he is fighting to pretend that he is valid in the eyes of the society, even though his genetics are inferior.
Because
quote, unquote.
he was made naturally, and they didn't use him. They didn't make a designer baby.
Yes,
essentially.
and then the second time his parents had a kid, they made Adam, and they made him perfect. And his brother becomes a cop. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Okay,
We actually watched it in health science class.
Yes,
because
it talks about eugenics and how like you can't base a society on people's genetics. It doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, when we were talking about Swimming the English Channel, the scene where it's super emotional, Ethan Hawke's character and Jude Law. Oh no, Jude Law is the person he buys his
I don't know which shirt.
Sorry, buys his identity from.
Okay.
Yeah, Jude Law is the character that Ethan Hawke buys his identity from.
Right, because he's trying to pass himself off as somebody
Jerome.
else.
Yeah.
And like at the end of the movie, doesn't he like?
Oh, he still gets it. He gives his own DNA.
Right.
And the doctor is like, you've been here your whole life. You are physically fit. You have been training your entire life for this. You know the flight patterns better than anyone. And just because your genes say that you shouldn't be here doesn't mean you shouldn't. So I'm letting you go up. And yeah, he makes it into space. And it's fucking incredible. The catharsis at that moment. But the scene that I was thinking of is when he and his brother are out at the ocean, because when they were kids, the younger brother, or the older brother, the perfect one, would challenge the imperfect one to swim out as far as they can, and the imperfect one would always stop early and be like, no, I can't keep going, I'm losing my breath, I'm running out of breath, I need help getting back. And he would like chastise him and then help him back to shore, and that was their like relationship as kids. And then as adults, as his brother is chasing him down as an officer for Gattaca, they end up at the same beach, and they swim out, and this time Ethan Hawke's character makes it so much farther than his brother. And he's like, how are you still going when I am so much better than you? And he's like, because I've been fighting my whole fucking life, because all I've ever had to do is struggle to get to where you were given. So yeah, of course I got this good, of course I can beat you,
right?
Because you never had to try for anything. All I've ever had to do is work. And it was just like, wow, dude. I don't know. Gattaca is a beautiful, beautiful movie, and I'm sure it's got its criticisms that I might be overlooking. But like as a piece about eugenics and the dangers of forming your society around people's genes, it is beautiful. Ethan Hawke is a fantastic actor. Uma Thurman is in that movie. Like
Uma Thurman, I love Uma Thurman.
Such a good movie. Gore Vidal is the brother in that, and again, produced by Danny DeVito. It's a '97 movie. If you
I didn't know Danny
Gattaca,
DeVito was a producer.
Right?
Like, that's interesting.
and such a good movie for him to get his hands in. I'm glad he was responsible for that one, or at least in part responsible. For that.
So unlike Jack Black, Danny DeVito has promised to never quit acting.
Good,
He said that he's going to act until the day he dies, and that's just that. I love that because I don't know what I would do without Danny DeVito.
The day he dies, knock on fucking wood, is going to be. He's never going to die. Damn it. It would just be tragic. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm sorry. Was he married to the person who's married to Ron Perlman right now?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about most celebrities' lives because I'm not very involved in pop culture.
Understandably so.
So
siblings Heidi, or is she related to Ron Perlman by like blood? Is that because Ron Perlman is Hellboy? Spouse is Opal Perlman. No, they've been married the whole time. Maybe they're unrelated, just happen to have the same name.
Maybe.
Yeah, Rhea Perlman. Yeah, not related. Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know who these people that you're talking about are. I mean, like I recognize the name Hellboy.
Yeah,
and like that. Other than that, like
Ron Perlman is the voice of Hellboy. Oh shit, this is not where I wanted to be. Sorry, I'm on my laptop. In case anyone can't tell. What else did he do though? He's known for a bunch of other stuff. He was Hellboy in both of them. He was in Beauty and the Beast, some live action thing. It seems like, with some very interesting practical effects.
That is.
Can you look this up and put this on screen? This is pretty interesting.
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
This is something. I have never seen Beauty and the Beast. This seems to be a television series, by the way, because I'm seeing season 1, so it seems like there are multiple seasons of this. I have never seen the original film, let alone the live action one that came out recently.
Oh my god.
Let alone this.
What the hell is this shit?
Like, I am a huge fan and supporter of practical effects. I think them in conjunction with visual effects, graphic effects, are amazing. Like, there are things computers can't do that practical can, and vice versa. They should be used in conjunction with each other. But holy shit.
Is this him?
What is this?
He looks like handsome Squidward.
When he gets his face beat in.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So this character right here also looks like. Have you seen Invincible yet? You haven't watched that.
No.
So
I just gained access to it today.
There is a character in Invincible that looks like this.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out. The cat, not Ron Perlman.
Like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
It also kind of looks a little bit like David Bowie from what's that flick called that we were just talking about yesterday? Labyrinth.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that's a good one. We were talking about watching it tonight, so you might be treated.
Is it a horror movie?
No.
Okay, because like I know that like that's what
it's
like
a kids
people
movie.
were. Okay, cool.
No, I don't think
everybody was where Adrian was talking about that she wanted to do horror movie today.
But she also knows that like not everyone handles that well. So she's trying to think of something else. Excuse me, I'm gassy.
Not allowed.
I know. Man, Ron Perlman has been fucking everything, dude. He was in Drive. He was in Tangled. He was in The City of the Lost Children.
He's in Adventure Time.
Adventure Time, as I'm sure supporting voice. Police Academy Mission Moscow. I don't want to know what that means. Mutant Chronicles, Pinocchio, the 2021 film, which is yet to come out, which I have not heard about. I didn't realize they were making a new Pinocchio. Who's putting this shit together? And by that, I mean Guillermo del Toro.
I don't know who that is either.
Oh, he made The Shape of Water. He did Pacific Rim. He did Hellboy. He's the director for these movies. He was the director for the Hobbit films. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah, okay, I didn't like that movie.
I didn't either. It wasn't all that great.
That was not a good movie. It was
like, okay,
it's a hard concept to nail down.
It's a book series for kids.
Like, they did an okay
interesting job with it, right? Trying to link the different stories into a similar scenario.
Like this book that has these stories in it, and they all start to happen at once
because someone was abused as a kid. Yeah, It's difficult, right? I feel like the writers did the best that they could.
I feel like they should have just tried to do a different movie.
Or maybe just pick one really good story from the series and make that into
multiple movies out of it. Like, instead of trying to jam it all into one, make it like a series.
What if it was okay, yeah, I like that idea, like a Netflix miniseries.
No, not even a Netflix miniseries. Make it a movie series. Do like they do with the Monsterverse or whatever, where like it's just
each one gets a full feature length film.
And like you've got access to what you could take these kids stories and make them true horror. And
see, that was another thing. Like, it didn't freak me out. Like
it was aimed towards kids, kind of. Yeah. Like, it wasn't aimed towards adults, the people who read scary stories to tell in the dark. Like, I would have watched a horror movie that was based off of those things, that was actually true horror. But it wasn't a true horror movie. And that's my issue with it, I guess.
I think it could have been a horror movie if it was a film series, like you were saying. But there's a type of film that I didn't really know existed until I found this YouTube channel that I kind of want to shout out because it's really cool. It's a bunch of, it's called Real Black, and it's a bunch of black-made movies and cartoons and TV series re-uploaded to YouTube. I watched one like several months ago, and I think I mentioned it at the time. Let me try to find the name of it. But it was a feature-length movie, hour and a half to 2 hours long, but it was split into 3 segments. So it had 3 different stories that was happening with like a transitionary piece in between each one. And like that kind of thing could work for this too, right? Like where you have one sort of like 45-minute
do it like
story.
The Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And don't link them together like they tried to make the book Scary Stories That You Tell in the Dark, like the book that we read, they put a movie they put that book in a movie instead of making a movie about the stories in the book. Yeah. And like it's
meta almost, right?
It's too meta.
Yeah.
Like,
that's interesting. I hadn't thought about it like that. But not to say anything bad about you, Guillermo del Toro, because I know you're listening. Big fan of the show.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely,
and you're one of my favorite directors, so you don't even have to worry about that. I'm still going to buy all your films. And
if you could just like,
that's not. Adrian just texted me. She said, "Best not say shit about my man Guillermo del Toro." I had to put out the disclaimer real quick before she comes and bursts down the door.
If he is an actual fan of the show, which we know he is, he should 100%. Just use us for his next
film, I'm a great voice actor.
I'm a great voice disaster.
Clearly,
I'm a voice disaster. I mean, voice actor.
Very obviously from that demonstration. You can check out my voice reel demo over at our sister podcast, Between Millennium by What the Funcast. That's hosted by Fox here at the studio, but it's run by Michael Freeman, our DM. Cool guy.
Well, and with that, let's go ahead and jump into our next music segment. We're actually going to be jumping over to Colorado, where weed's legal.
Cool.
Yeah, and we're going to be listening to a little artist named Sharone.
Yeah,
and I believe that this is the part. All of this music is from the album that isn't released yet, that's coming out this month.
Oh, right.
So you should definitely check that out whenever it drops. I believe it's on like May 5th or 6th or something. I'm not going to say an exact date because I can't remember.
Right,
but it does come out very soon. And the first song that we're going to be playing by her is "Trapped," followed by Pinup Doll, and then last but not least, Project. And what is it she describes herself as? A dark rock, I believe?
Yes, yeah, which was new to us at the time. No one had really described themselves as dark rock before. I've heard of like anti-pop and stuff like that, but it's a new label for me.
Yeah, it's a really interesting genre. I think she's a really kick-ass artist, and her vocal range and power is incredible. Is really good. So I guess get ready to listen to some very awesome music as we do a little mute.
I can't bear the thought of falling apart. I'm scared that life will end, no one will come again. You found me in my worst time, but you destroyed me. I never thought that it would
We're back.
I don't know.
Is that the ogre from last time? Or
no, I am the orc, I think.
Oh, God.
I think. And I'm back to ask you for a new radio.
Oh, well, if you're back to ask for new radio again, we would really prefer it if you didn't listen to any radio stations but us. But if you do, you should check out Kuzu, which is 98.2. Is that what it was?
So.
I had to look this up last time too. It's like
Kuzu.
Is it 98.2? I believe it's 98.2.
92.9.
God damn it! I was right last time. I was wrong this time. Check out 92.9 WKUZU if you want to listen to dope music while you're driving in your car. Because unless you got Wi-Fi in your car or listen on your phone, you can't
hear us. You can't hear our beautiful fucking golden voices.
Yeah, not on the FM radio because we say fuck too much.
Well, okay, so... Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Never mind. I was about to say YouTube. I found out for the YouTube algorithm, they want you to avoid cursing within, like, the first 10 minutes of a video. After that, you're good, but if you have swearing in, like, the first, I don't know how long, really, 10 minutes was just a guess, of your video, the algorithm will automatically bump you back.
Interesting.
Compared to other people, yeah.
So we can't say fuck on this podcast for the first 10 minutes.
At least, something like that. I'll look into it a little bit more. And honestly, like... who is getting our show recommended to them in the algorithm anyway, unless they're listening to 2-hour-long VODs of other streamers.
Which is probably not something that people usually do.
Not a whole lot. At least the market for 2-hour-long VODs on YouTube is not as large as the market for Twitch streamer supercuts that are like 30 minutes long even is better than the 2-hour-long thing. But that's neither here nor there. I just know that the algorithm prefers people with cleaner... opening dialogue. I don't know why. No one can really... That's kind of the problem with algorithms, is that no one can determine the means by which AI reaches its conclusions. They can only see the training data that it receives and the conclusions it makes. So you can correct for every error that it ever makes, but you still can't verify that an AI is accurately determining meaning from the data it collects. You could give it 1 million faces. You could give it 2 pictures or a whole bunch of pictures, right? And you give it one and you go, that's a wolf. And it goes, okay, that's a wolf. So if that's a wolf, then this one must be a wolf. And you go, yeah, that's a wolf. And then the next one, it goes, okay, so if these two are both wolves, this one must be a wolf. And you're like, no, that's a lizard. And it goes, what do you mean it's a lizard? They all have white backgrounds. Because the only thing it was focusing on was a region of white pixels. Because AI reads pictures, and this is just for pictures, right? Every other data is even more risky because it's just numbers and letters, and it could be who knows how an AI interprets it.
Right, and then the more that it looks at different pictures of what is a wolf, the more it accurately knows what to look for.
Ideally, but you can never really know. You can't prove or even look inside of its thinking process.
Isn't that part of the reason, like, for the CAPTCHA stuff? It's like it is determining, like...
So the CAPTCHA stuff is for determining whether or not you're a bot, right? Which is a script that's running, but it's
like I'd read an article somewhere that was talking about how the input that we put is compared to data that the AIs look at the same pictures, and it's like identify stoplights, and the AI will...
Oh, yes, yeah. So nowadays, so what was originally happening, and the reason why we've seen CAPTCHAs move from text to images is because initially Google was using the CAPTCHA service to digitize books. Any and all books that they could get their hands on, they would take segments, have a computer analyze screenshots of it, or what are they called when you copy something in via printer? Scans of the book pages, and then anything that the AI couldn't reasonably determine as a word would get spat to you as a CAPTCHA code, and then you would fill it out, and the AI that was cataloging these books would go, cool, that's yes, or whatever. Now it's done. They've done all of it. All the books are digitized, or whatever, I don't know, or they got paid to switch to something else, because now, yeah, they're doing traffic cams, they're doing crosswalks, they're doing bikes, motorcycles, buses, either for traffic cameras to better identify traffic violators, which is annoying the fuck out of me personally, because I think traffic stops are a fucking scam. Not stops, lights. I don't think.
Sorry, I don't mean to stop you, but there's a dude in New York. He got arrested because he had gone through and deactivated a bunch of traffic cams because they were people were getting tickets whenever for running red lights whenever the light wasn't red.
Oh yeah.
And because the camera was taking the picture before the
light turned green
before the light turned red, and so he went and deactivated a bunch of them, and then got sent to jail, and then whenever he got out of jail, he went and did it again.
Because what the fuck, dude? No, I'm not gonna stop. What do you mean?
And it was proportionally in black communities.
It really impacts poor communities, which also happens to be black communities very often. It's very bad. The places that we use, you won't find traffic cameras in metropolitan areas, because either they have police officers there or they don't give a shit because they know they won't make money from the people that would be running lights there.
How many cameras that you see that are actually fake?
Oh yeah, tons. They're not doing jack shit.
That tripped me out whenever I realized that that most video camera systems.
It takes to store that visual data in anything that is I don't know, reasonable. If you record a storefront for a year from even 2 angles, you've got hundreds of gigabytes of data.
Right, most of it's, even if it's a closed circuit television,
physical.
It's live most of the time.
Yeah,
and
so you
it only backs up 2 days,
right?
Or some shit like
and
that,
and then deletes everything before that.
But I will say, when I worked at Waffle House, they had a whole ass server in the back, and you could go back months.
Well, and it's okay, so should you, as an employer, be allowed to surveil your employees?
Well, I say yes to an extent. You can't.
I think it's something you have to at least agree to. I think you should have informed consent about it, right?
Well, I mean, you walk into a place and you look up, you're like, yeah, that's a video camera.
I'm being I'm being watched.
Walmart,
but it's
any of these places, they have surveillance cameras.
But there's no. Sorry, I dropped something. There's no contract I get to sign upon entering that says, I know I'm being watched. I am allowing you to watch me, follow my movements around and stuff. And it's a little less spooky than some of the worst offenders where people scan your IDs, or people track your, companies track your location data on your phone, right? That's spooky stuff, and people go who cares if Google has your phone? But what's stopping them from sharing it to
But see, here's the thing,
other agencies?
The places that they're recording you are their space and their property 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
And the reason that they're surveilling you is because there are people who are going to take their property, and they whether or not
you agree with that, yes,
right.
That is so. Yes, they are. But is it right to surveil people if your only motive is profit? Is profit a ethical motive for any action?
Well, okay,
because almost any time you make a choice to improve your profit, you have to exploit someone.
If there's no surveillance in the Walmart and someone comes in with a gun and robs a bank, and we don't get we have no idea who this person is because there was no surveillance there, that's where are we going to go from there? We have the technology to actually get criminals that do bad crimes with this kind of surveillance, and that's kind of the point that it's necessary for.
Here's an argument against that, right? Uh-huh. The person who brings a gun to the store has reasons for having brought the gun to the store. Mm-hmm. Those are the things you want to go for, not surveilling the person when they do the act. Wonder why they got there in the first place, right? The material conditions of a person's life are what lead them to make actions like that, not some ideological thing or something like that. It might be from ideological basis in their minds, but they were led to that ideology from the conditions of their life, right, as they grow. And all I'm positing is that instead of focusing on the surveillance and security of people in the store, don't even surveil people, just worry about the people in general, right? Why does that person have a gun? Why does that person feel angry? What did that person do? How could we have stopped that before?
Where you're coming from is more of an ideal world, though.
Sure.
You're in the question that you're positing. If you want to look at it, if we could actually take care of these things and be, a good society where we could actually fund mental health and fund public health, and make sure that everybody had a universal basic income, to a point where nobody needed to rob a store, essentially, is where you're coming from,
sort of.
But go on. But right now in today's day and age, where we live, these things do happen.
Yeah.
And so,
but what does surveilling people after the fact actually do to stop anything from happening again? Even if you have footage of the act occurring and put that person in jail, you don't undo what they did or prevent future things from happening. You say, hey, if you do it here, you'll get in trouble, but there are who knows how many other places where they could go and do it where they won't, or where they won't be seen. The only way to actively stop the shooting, the robbing, the anything, the violence, is to look at what brought them to that point in the first place. And that could be anything. It could be from any perspective, and it doesn't necessarily have to come from an ideal world. And even if it does, there's nothing wrong with wanting the world to be a better place.
No.
Right? Now, and I know that's not what you're saying. No. I'm just putting my point out there. But like, if a person goes and shoots a school, and then you say, okay, we're putting cameras here, we're putting police officers here, no one is going to shoot this school again. This school. Someone's going to go to another school.
But every single school is surveillance. Like, that's already
yes. That's neither here nor there. I get what you mean there. Like, they're already being watched, and that's another discussion. Like, should we be watching kids? Is that like really what we should be?
But okay, the things that are being surveilled are public spaces. They're like they're not following you into the bathroom. They're not following you into the dressing room. They don't have cameras in the locker rooms. These are hallways. These are things. Can't teachers? Okay, so let's just take schools for example.
Okay.
Let's get
Since
out.
I brought that up,
right?
yeah.
Let's get out of like retail,
privately owned places.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go into schools. Teachers can't be everywhere.
No,
it is impossible. And things like bullying, things like sexual assault,
these systemic issues that come from way down the line, like
because of the way that we can surveil now, we have the ability to catch and stop and prevent these things a lot easier than in any other time. I mean,
do we have the ability to prevent? Because how do we determine who is likely to perform actions? Usually through algorithms, which as we talked about, we cannot rely to come to reasonable conclusions through reasonable means. We can see that they could at every point in time accurately describe who exactly, given all the information, is going to commit a crime, and they still could be doing it for the wrong reasons.
Whenever I say they can prevent, remember my point earlier that most video cameras that you see are fake. The psychological, just the act of being surveilled does prevent crime.
But isn't that also like so what if a person perform, and I'm sorry, I don't want to just keep making a more narrow slice of a person until I have the exact version of my argument that I want, because that's not how this works. I see what you mean, that like you can use surveillance as a method of deterrent, but I still don't think that necessarily is the right move, or if that will go far enough. You know what I mean? Like we do that now. We have fake CCTV cameras. We have schools that are policed with people with guns. We have teachers that are armed. We have people with backpacks and metal detectors and stuff that will keep them safe. And it still happens because there are still people who get hurt in their lives and end up feeling the need to find the means to hurt people back. And one way or the other, however they justify it, I feel that it could have been stopped if we had known, if the systems that we had in place had not fostered an environment for that person to end up in that place, if that makes sense. And I know that's like, yes, obviously, that's how everyone ends up in a bad place, is the environment that they're in. But I think when we're trying to approach how we can stop things from happening, like school shootings or robberies or things like that, sexual assault, like, the answer is not surveillance of the public or restriction or censorship of the people of the public. And the common gotcha that, like, if you have nothing to hide, you wouldn't fear surveillance is, like, I don't know, dishonest at best and, like, outright hurtful at worst. Because, but they start here, and then what's to say they don't keep going? Who's to say what isn't the next step of your personal privacy being invaded? Right now, it's only they put cameras in school, but next the government is asking Google for the location service of every person above or below 18. given whatever circumstance they're trying to surveil people. And then from there, it's like Google is giving the government all of your search history and stuff like that. Because all they're trying to do is determine who is more likely to commit crime. But in the process, they have to collect all this data and sift through it. And there's no way a human can do it. There's too much of it.
Oh, and then we can end up in a psychopath world.
Where the government and some AI or some, shadowy entity otherwise is determining who is and isn't liable to commit violence based on arbitrary data and means that we cannot understand. Whether it's a person who's acting outside of the public consent or the public opinion, or an AI that does not think or consider things like a human, if you can't understand the means it creates its conclusions, you can't trust it.
So, and most of these things most of the surveillance that we're talking about right now, or at least until you bring up government surveillance, because like that's not even where that's not even where I was thinking. That's not even what I was thinking. What I was thinking about is you posited the question: do places have the right to surveil you?
Do private stores?
They do, because that is their private business. They do have the right to surveil their property. Just like if I wanted to, I would have a right to put cameras in my home because it is my home. And I should make people. I have the responsibility of making people aware of those cameras.
Right.
And think about almost every single store that you walk into that has a camera. Most of the time,
has a sign that says "Smile, you're on camera,"
or there's a literal video camera or like a TV screen of you walking in whenever you walk into Walmart.
Aware that
you then can make that decision
that the TV you see at the beginning of your entrance to a store is the disclaimer that hey look, you're being watched. Just know that, like, from the start, you are on live TV. Someone is in a room somewhere watching you. But
that's like,
but isn't that creepy? Like, isn't that icky? Why would it, like, a person that you don't know is watching, and I'm not talking about like the invasion of your personal space, obviously, because this is in a public store that someone owns or a personal home that someone owns, like, notwithstanding the fact that you rent this apartment. I'm assuming that you own the place that you live.
Right.
Like, even though I agree it is their right, isn't it still kind of weird? Like, isn't it still creepy for a person to spy on another person without their, and it's different when it's a human being standing outside your window.
I mean, it's not without their consent, again, because
that's true. You can walk into the store, see it, and then go nah and leave. Yeah,
and it's very commonly known that whenever you walk into a store like Walmart, that you're on camera. Like,
so then it is about the informed consent, right?
Yeah,
like, you should know if you're being watched.
That's where it becomes weird. Yeah, it's whenever you're recording people and they don't have the consent, and like,
it could be a matter of security, or it could be something else, right? Like, you're just recording data or something like that. But if anyone enters the view of the camera, they have to know that they're being put to tape, because that is permanent. Whether, like, unless you don't record it or whatever, it's like that data is now there. Someone knows you were here at this day doing XYZ thing, and there's nothing you can do about it, especially if you don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, long ass conversation about that.
That was definitely a tangent.
Yeah, it was. And I think I would like to fall down a hill.
Okay. Well, while you do that, go ahead and get it set up. I'm going to introduce the next segment of music.
I think that's a great idea.
So pull it up on yours so that I can look at it while you
will do
that. So the next segment of music we are going to be playing is going to be out of Los Angeles, California. The band Good Terms, because terms are good. This is your local friendly, how do they put it? Your local friendly pop punk band. The three songs that we have geared up for Good Terms are going to be Hamster Wheel, Turning Point, and Useless Things. These are all off of their new album, their debut album that has just dropped recently, and it's called Turning Point. It kicks ass. If you like vinyl, you should definitely buy the vinyl for it, because it's like a see-through, tie-dye, cool, interesting vinyl. Like,
isn't it like green?
It's like green and tie-dye, whatever, something. It's cool.
It's base green.
If you like cool, merchandise, you should definitely check.
Oh yeah,
that
the shirt
out.
designs are actually, like, unironically super cool. And, like, of course, we are not sponsored by anyone when we do this. Obviously, this show is non-profit. Excuse me, I had gas. But yeah, again, that first song is going to be Hamster Wheel, followed by Turning Point, and then Useless Things. If you'll hand me the mouse, because I forgot to put OBS on the screen that we needed.
Oh, well, I mean, I could have muted it and then, started the song, and then you could have done that, right?
Yeah, but you had clicked inside of radio DJ, and you know how dangerous that can be for our MIDI controller.
Yeah, our MIDI controller doesn't know what it's doing half the time. Well, I guess with that, we can go ahead and just do a little...
Is this my turning point? You remind me I'm capable of joy. Is this my turning point? You remind me I'm capable of joy. I know this moment isn't perfect, but you remind me that it's worth it. It's worth it.
What's wrong? Like, why am I not happy? It's like, on paper, this is great, but it's not.
The important part of all this is the turning point from realizing that you're not fucked up or like that it's not going to be this way forever.
I've been filling empty boxes with dusty things once on display. I've been cutting all my losses. I made a promise to myself I'd give these useless things away. 10 minutes in, I came across it. The faded tag still read your name. And for years I thought I'd lost it. But I made a promise to myself I'd give these useless things away. I'd give these useless things away. You glowed our first night in that taxi. The city lights lit up your face. Feels like years since you've been happy. How much of that am I to blame? We keep our love inside a picture and show our friends its phony frame. You know I've never been a quitter, but I made a promise to myself I'd give these useless things away. I'd give these useless things away. Someday I'll put aside my fears. You'll stand and try to block the door. And as you struggle through the tears, I'll stare blankly at the floor. Someday I'll give up trying to fix this. Someday I know you'll do the same. I'll hesitate it's my instinct. But I made a promise to myself I'd give these useless things away. I made a promise to myself I'd give these useless things away. I'd give these useless things away.
And
We're back. Yeah, it's been a little bit of time going down a lonely mountain, I think, is
Yeah.
what we've been doing.
Yeah,
Is
we
that-
have.
Yeah, well,
I'm trying to fucking perfect this line. Are we moving away?
I don't know. No, you keep going. Keep
Okay.
going. I'm just trying to get the
The song title out of the way.
that out of the way.
Yeah.
Ha ha! I did it. All with the help of a little.
Laughter.
Yes. That's not what I was going for. I don't know what I was really going for, to be honest with you. And I'm exhausted today.
Yeah, man, I can tell.
It's been a rough morning. I don't know.
It's been a rough couple of days.
Yeah,
At least from
it
my
has been.
perspective.
You know, just keep on chugging along. Though.
Yeah.
We'll be good. Yes, I gotta put on
that's
some.
your turn.
Some later.
Harmu.
Oh God! Did you already switch the controls for me? No.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
That's fine. That's fine.
I didn't realize Harmu would be taking a guest spot on the show today.
Oh, Harmu is everywhere.
And nowhere.
It's just you should just expect it at this point.
And he has two different voices.
Yeah, whenever I accidentally
Yeah.
hello, like what?
Hello. That was a funny bit in the show.
Oh man, I can't seem to.
Yeah, because it's still stuck to left, right?
I can't seem to get my shit together.
You know how it is.
Oh man. Oh God. What's over here?
I don't know, a path that I've never bothered with. Smashing into the wall.
So if you are listening on SoundCloud or, on any medium that is
Not
just
visual.
audio, we are playing a video game right now, and you can see that in the past or in the future from the past if you go check out our YouTube channel, which is linked in the description of whatever you are listening to this on.
That is the case. I didn't have anything to follow up with on that. I felt like I did. Like I prompted myself to follow into another plug, but you did what I was going to do. So
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Oh.
See, okay, I ran up to that one too, and it's not telegraphing where the jump is supposed to land. It does not show you where it wants you to go after that point. And I was like, okay, sure, I guess I'm just jumping into the fucking river now.
That is how it be.
How it pee?
How it be, as in boy.
How does the path pee? Rocks?
What?
How does the path pee? Rocks?
What is going on here?
I mean, that was right. I think you were just short somehow.
I mean, I am short. Short kings unite.
You're shorter than me. You're not that short.
I'm 5'6",
Oh, maybe
5.
you are that short.
I say 5'7", but usually whenever I get measured, I have shoes on. So
That's a brave admission on your part, I would say. Most people, I don't think, would be willing to admit that when they get measured, it's usually with shoes on.
I mean, because most people are liars.
Who care too much about the physical attributes of their body.
Yes.
Please, your height is not the determinant of your personality.
No.
Although everyone loves the funny joke where it's are short people angry because they're closer to hell or whatever?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, or whatever. I don't know.
We're angry because you keep on pointing out the fact that we're short.
Yeah, right? What's the point? I don't understand. This is not a funny joke.
I don't know how I survived that.
Yeah, the camera definitely took the view away from you. I expected you to die. It's interesting. Your TV's a little washed out now that I'm noticing.
Well, there's also what's the word? There's wind. There's a windstorm going on in the game right now.
True. But I mean, if you look at the capture card, it's got more tone to it, more color.
Oh yeah, I can't really take my focus.
No,
off
of course
this
not. Of
TV.
course not. You are hot on the trail. Hell yeah. Yep. Bonk.
And that's the way we roll.
That's how we do.
Thank
Thank you. Your head. Your head's just slightly in frame.
You know what one of my favorite bands is?
What?
Jonas Brothers.
Oh, okay. Did they do covers? I think so. Yeah, right. Because
they did
Year 3000 is a cover.
The year 3000 is a cover, but most of their songs are original.
Good.
Yeah.
Who wrote them? Do you think? Do you think it was them, or do they have a Disney Channel ghostwriter?
I think both.
Yeah, probably.
Because they are actually really, really musically talented.
I'm hot and you're cold. Yeah.
And that's how you get copyrighted.
Yeah, that's the only part of that song I remember anyway, thankfully.
Oh, man. Wow.
You're
thankfully.
running around and you're most... That's, yeah.
I love SOS. That's one of my favorite ones by them. And
Ooh, that was done.
honestly,
how does that one go?
This is an SOS. Don't want to second guess. This is the bottom line. It's true. I'll play it for you.
I don't
later.
remember.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, we'll listen to it.
Dude, all of their shit slaps. I don't care. And you know what else slaps? Like all of the High School Musical soundtrack.
Yeah, okay.
Just
I wasn't originally a High School Musical fan because I didn't watch it as a kid, and I was kind of distasteful of it. And I also have a pretty negative association with musicals in general. But I really did enjoy watching High School Musical.
Would you check? I want to watch Hamilton. I keep hearing it's good.
I don't want to watch some dude fucking. I don't know. It's a self-serving not parody, but like homage to the original Founding Fathers.
Is it?
musical. Yeah.
Again, I want to watch it because everybody keeps saying it's good. Like they say that like the actual acting is like
and the music is bops. Like I'm sure it's good. New challenges await you. But I don't know. Hamilton came out at a time in my life where the only people I really knew were theater kids, and no slander on their names or anything like that. And I'm not going to name anyone, but the
no slander on your names.
No, because it's not wrong. You're not wrong for liking something. It's not bad. It's not a negative trait. It got a little much. I heard a lot of the songs over and over again. I had never seen it, so I was getting a lot of like fear of missing out type deal where it's like I don't know what you're all referencing and you're all really excited about it and I don't get it, and it's frustrating me that I can't join in and feel a part of the group or something like that.
Couldn't you have just watched the movie at that point?
No, because Hamilton was only released as an audio medium on Spotify for the longest time. Yeah, you had to get tickets to see it. So most of these kids, like in high school, because we live in Texas, most of these people were only listening to the songs or watching like bootleg recordings on YouTube or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it wasn't put to film until just recently when it was released on Disney. So it was like even worse. Like all of these people are quoting things and reciting these songs from a thing they've never even actually experienced. And I'm sure that played a part in it. But for the most part, it was just like,
okay, it's a thing they've never actually experienced. I do have to
you're right.
Because I've never seen Alter Bridge in person. I've only ever listened to radio and but they're one of my favorite bands.
Yeah,
okay,
you're right. I'm just making excuses for being upset that I didn't get to join in on the reindeer games. But look, can you blame me? Especially in high school, it's really rough when you don't feel like you fit in already, and then all the people you hang out with suddenly all know this thing that you don't, and you don't like it. You don't even want to like it. I don't want to like Hamilton, or I didn't at the time.
It's like that episode of Bob's Burgers whenever they start playing that game where they're like bouncing the ball on each other's shins, and Gene doesn't want to play it, and then they end up cutting down like this tree that Gene is like crafting into like he's like tree shrubbery. They cut it down to make room for another arena of this thing, and then like his brother and sister.
Oh, are you talking about Gaga Ball?
Gaga Ball, yeah, that's what it is. The Gaga Ball episode. And it's kind of the same thing there, right? Where
it's like he doesn't want to do it, but they keep forcing it upon him, and so eventually, does he just cave and play?
He does, and he wrecs and he wins.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Because fuck you. If you're gonna continuously force me into this, I'm going to destroy you. Yeah, I don't know. That's my rant about Hamilton. I'm sure it's great and all, but also Lin-Manuel Miranda is like doing some shady shit in Puerto Rico, or is at least involved with a number of Puerto Rican what am I trying to say? Not administrators, but representatives, right? Like from the government. And they're doing a lot of austerity over there measures, and it's really bad. And like in the midst of all that happening, he brought a production of Hamilton to it and was like promoting it happening on the same day as like a massive protest against the government.
Oh, like he was like, hey, this is happening at the same time. Like
same time, same day, instead of going to the protest, come on down and watch Hamilton.
Interesting.
And it's like, he's Puerto Rican. Like, what are you doing, dude? I think. I could be way off based on that part, actually. Don't quote me on that. But everything else I read from like the Guardian article.
The Guardian.
Yeah, okay, look, they're not the best, but at least they're independent. Okay? Like, at least they're not beholden to fucking Murdoch or whatever his name is, the Australian that owns Fox and NBC and all that shit. They're all owned by the same dude, and he's Australian. He doesn't even live in America or UK, and he runs the news in America and the UK. And it's like, maybe he's the CEO, maybe he's just the owner, and he doesn't actually have control over it, but that's not even guaranteeable, right? Like, he owns that shit. At some point, I'm sure he has looked at what they are producing and said, no, I don't like that. Make this instead.
Oh, dude, the news
and
news
even
media
then,
is always
is fucked.
Yeah.
And I mean, even then, even if that's not the case, you are still responsible for the thing that you own and the things that it makes, right? Like, if Fox News is continuously churning out racist propaganda, you are responsible for that racist propaganda.
Yeah.
That is how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck Rupert Murdoch. That's his name. I remembered it because of my rage.
Despite all my rage, I am still just a date on a show.
Yeah, fuck. Okay.
I'm still just a guy named Dade, or a person named Dade.
There you go. It still fits. Yeah.
Fixed it. Oh man.
Should I go ahead and cue up the next audio segment?
Why not?
Yeah.
It's time for the wrench.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I know what it needs. I'm there. Oh, hey, here's Ron Paul again.
Yeah, thankfully he's not on the screen.
Yeah, I was trying to find the our document for all the songs and shit like that, and I pull up the closest Chrome window, and it's just a picture of Ron Paul with his Beast makeup on. So that was pretty funny. None of you saw it.
The band that we're playing up next is Krosis from Raleigh, North Carolina, and the first song I believe is
Questions of a Holistic Divine.
Dude, we haven't played this song before.
No, we haven't.
I listened to it before the show, and I was like, damn, like that's it made me make the face.
The stank face?
The face.
Yeah, the face. Questions of a Holistic Divine. I also just tried to open Ableton on accident.
Oh yeah, let's not open Ableton and
let's definitely not.
Right.
Take control of the Behringer and lose track of everything.
Yeah, that would suck.
It's questions, right? Questions of a Holistic Divine, and then after that is going to be Battles Are Won Within.
That one's a good one. It's a nice very moshy. I'd mosh to it.
Oh yeah, Daniel said this was one that people would just lose their absolute shit to when we interviewed him. Which, by the way, when we have the regular 24/7 radio running, you'll hear those interviews back again. I know that they're all, still uploaded to YouTube and SoundCloud and stuff like that. But if you enjoyed the interviews that we did with some of the musicians that we play very frequently, you'll get a chance to hear that rerun on the radio once we have that website up for you, which will be soon.
And we'll also have, other reruns of previous shows. So, there will be our voices on the show every now and again.
Don't worry, you won't get lonely.
You'll get to hear us. You'll get to hear the shows that we've done in the past. The ones that we're doing live should be on the stream. It's going to be a pretty cool little website there. But I guess with that, I can do a lonely little mute. And we're back. And it's been another day on Stuck in a Corner.
We made it through, and it was pretty good. It was pretty easy.
I mean, I'll give you the first part.
I know that you're tired, man, but honestly, this was a really smooth episode, I think.
I guess so. I can give you that, other than the fact that I skipped over a song at the beginning.
Oh, whatever.
Well, if you like this music, you should totally check out our YouTube and our SoundCloud, and you should check out all the awesome artist links that are in the description of those things.
Not only can you listen to those songs on previous episodes of our show, but you can go directly patronize those bands yourself, and we highly encourage you to do so.
Patronize?
Yeah. Patronize us in giving them your support and giving them your money.
Okay.
Yeah. You patronize a store. You are a patron of a store.
Okay. I just hear don't patronize me.
Right. Yeah. That's why I say patronize usually, because I mean something different.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, don't forget to check out our sister podcast that is called What the Funcast.
Between Millennium. That's the D&D campaign.
Yeah, it's on Spotify and
iTunes and Applecast and
a lot of other
Google
places that you can find your podcasts.
Literally anywhere you can find podcasts, you'll find it. I've made sure of that. I have ensured it. If you live in India, you can find it. If you live in Russia, you can find it. I've got you covered.
Nice. We also
do a little music ski ourselves.
Yeah,
we got a couple of bands going on. You should check out Got Trash. You should check out Cosmetic Damage when that is finally a thing. If you're listening to this from the past in the future, like you said earlier, Cosmetic Damage will almost certainly have had a song released by then. So make sure you go and check that out. Make sure you check out our good friend Hazel's music, and check out the host of this show's rap project, Vox Evans. That shit,
it's all right.
Bops. I'm the producer. I am legally required to say that shit bops.
Well, I guess we can go ahead and get out of here tonight. Let you guys get back on with your lives, and as we do a final
mute. Did you know that cows have 4 stomachs?